Greetings, friends, and welcome back to Grand Adventure. I'm your host, Mark Guido, and this week we're going to explore the other Las Vegas, New Mexico. So come along. We were only a few hours towing out of our last stop in Dodge City, Kansas, on our way over here to Las Vegas, New Mexico, before the conditions outside took a dramatic turn. The high plains rise towards the Rocky Mountains as one travels westward. The day before our departure, we received a long, steady cold rain in Dodge City. By the time we reached Boise City in the Oklahoma Panhandle, near the borders of Kansas, New Mexico, and the Texas Panhandle, traces of snowfall quickly deepen into a full-scale snowpack, a foot or two deep in places. In Clayton, New Mexico, crews were still busy trying to clear the overwhelmed city streets. We had been scheduled to spend our week at Sugar Right Canyon State Park at the Colorado border, near Raton, New Mexico. But with this early dose of winter weather, at an elevation of over 7,000 feet, we instantly realized that this was going to be a bad idea. So it was time for our plans to change once again. We instead settled into the Las Vegas, New Mexico KOA journey at the lower elevation of 6,400 feet. Some parts of the Las Vegas area had tallied up to 30 inches of snow from this storm, but at this lower elevation, it was melting quickly. We're paying an average of $58 per night plus tax for this 50 amp pull-through full hookup campsite, plus our KOA rewards 10% discount. It's a little sloppy with the quickly melting snow, but became more and more pleasant as the ground dried out throughout the week. Las Vegas, New Mexico KOA journey is conveniently located right off Interstate 25 for easy on, easy off access for through travelers. Although there's still snow on the ground, the rapidly warming weather gives me one final chance to get our RV's roof resealed before the harsh reality of winter weather truly sets in. When we come right back, following a quick ad break, we'll explore the city of Las Vegas, check out some nearby hot springs, and more, so stay tuned. The two halves of Las Vegas, New Mexico are separated by the Galenas River, the only substantial town for miles around. Its population was just over 13,000 at the 2020 census. Las Vegas was established in 1835 after a group of settlers received a land grant from the Mexican government. The town was laid out in the traditional Spanish colonial style, with a central plaza surrounded by buildings which could serve as fortifications in case of attack. Las Vegas soon prospered as a stop on the Santa Fe Trail, and further still when the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railroad arrived from the north on July 4, 1879. During the railroad era, Las Vegas boomed, quickly becoming one of the largest cities in the American Southwest. Turn of the century Las Vegas featured all the modern amenities, including an electric streetcar railway, the Duncan Opera House, a Carnegie Library, the Castaneda Hotel, and a university. Coincidentally, gunslinger Doc Holliday relocated to Las Vegas when he left Dodge City, Kansas, much as we did. The arrival of the railroad in 1879 brought with it businesses, development, and new residents, both respectable and dubious. Murderers, robbers, thieves, gamblers, gunmen, swindlers, vagrants, and tramps poured in, transforming the eastern side of the settlement into a virtually lawless brawl. In addition to Doc Holliday and his girlfriend Big Nose Kate, among the notorious characters were such legends of the Old West as David Rudabaugh, Jesse James, Billy the Kid, Wyatt Earp, Mysterious Dave Mather, Hoodoo Brown, and Handsome Harry the Dance Hall Rustler. Northwest of town, in the shadow of what was once the Montezuma Hotel, that now serves as the administration building of Arm & Hammer United World College, are three groupings of concrete hot spring soaking pools, with sand and gravel bottoms of differing depths. Volunteers scrub the pools every 2 weeks, and there is a constant flow of fresh spring water that keeps them clean. Of course, no visit to New Mexico would be complete without the local cuisine, and the city of Las Vegas is delivering New Mexican food on that front too. Immediately following another quick ad break to pay the bills, we'll head north to see the striking Fort Union National Monument, so stay tuned. Las Vegas and the surrounding area is located where the southern Great Plains meet the Rocky Mountains, with truly spectacular results. We're heading today about 25 miles northeast of Las Vegas. Here, surrounded by a whole lot of nothing, the original Santa Fe Trail crosses this dirt road. This isn't a dry creek bed. Instead, it's the remaining ruts of countless wagon trains worn into the hard prairie between 150 and 200 years ago. About 5 miles north, Fort Union served as an important stop and point of protection along the Santa Fe Trail, near where the mountain and Cimarron branches converged. There were actually 3 separate forts built here in succession, starting in the 1850s and continuing through the 1860s. The sprawling third installation took 6 years to complete and was the most extensive in the territory. Fort Union National Monument has a visitor center containing an historical museum and showing a film about the fort's history. The treaty ending the U.S.-Mexican War gave undisputed control of Texas to the U.S. and ceded present-day California, Nevada, Utah, most of New Mexico, Arizona, and Colorado, along with parts of Oklahoma, Kansas, and Wyoming. Fort Union served as the base for military operations in the area and a key station on the Santa Fe Trail to protect the area's inhabitants and travel routes from raids by the Apaches, Utes, Navajos, Cheyennes, Kiowas, and Comanches. The fort was commanded by Christopher Kit Carson from late 1865 to early 1866 and served as headquarters of the 8th Cavalry in the early 1870s and the 9th Cavalry in the late 1870s. Fort Union also served as the principal military supply depot of the Southwest, defended against a potential Confederate military invasion coming up north in the Rio Grande Valley, and afforded travelers a place to rest nearby and refit at the post-settler store. A self-guiding trail leads through the remains of the 2nd and 3rd forts. It was an open post, without either stockades or breastworks of any kind. Were it not for the officers and soldiers who could be seen about, it would have looked more like a quiet frontier village than a military station. It was laid out with broad and straight streets crossing each other at right angles. Ruins of the Ordnance Depot and site of the first fort are visible across the valley to the west. Following Fort Union's involvement in the Indian Wars, its garrison occasionally helped to track down outlaws, quell mob violence, and mediate feuds. The supply depot continued to flourish until 1879, when the Santa Fe Railroad replaced the Santa Fe Trail as the principal means of commerce. By 1891, the fort had outlived its usefulness and was abandoned. We hope that you've enjoyed exploring Las Vegas, New Mexico with us. Now, coming up next week, we're going to have to make some changes to our travel plans. We had originally planned to head west from Albuquerque on I-40 and spend the week up near the Continental Divide at Blue Water Lake. But we've got some snow moving in tomorrow as we pack up and head out. So we're instead going to take a long detour south. And that's going to add a little bit of extra travel time, but it's going to allow us to see some extra things along the way too. So if you're not yet a grand adventurer, there is no better time than right now for you to go smash that little subscribe button right down there in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. And ring that notification bell to be sure that you never miss a grand adventure, which we premiere right here every Wednesday evening. We'd be honored if you shared the channel with your friends, your family, and on social media. Understand, it's extremely important to us that if you like this episode, please be sure to give us a big thumbs up down below. And while you're down below, that's where you'll find the comment section where we love to hear from you each and every week. So until next Wednesday from southern New Mexico, please remember life is nothing but a grand adventure. We'll see you then.